It was a cold, moonless night when Sarah decided to take a shortcut through the woods. The locals had warned her about the Whispering Woods, but she was running late and didn't want to take the long route home. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the crunching of leaves under her feet. As she ventured deeper, the trees seemed to close in around her, their gnarled branches like skeletal fingers reaching out to grab her. Sarah quickened her pace, her breath visible in the cold air. A sudden rustle to her left made her stop. She strained her ears, but the woods had fallen silent again. She shrugged it off as an animal and continued walking. But then she heard it, a faint whisper, indistinct and chilling. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest. She turned around, but saw nothing. She tried to convince herself it was just the wind, but the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They seemed to be coming from all around her, echoing through the trees. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice trembling. There was no response, only the whispers growing louder, forming words she couldn't understand. Panic set in, and she broke into a run, branches scratching at her face and arms. She stumbled and fell, her flashlight skittering across the ground. In the dim light, she saw shadows moving, closing in on her. The whispers were now a cacophony, filling her head with an unbearable noise. She crawled toward her flashlight, her hands shaking. As she grasped it, a cold hand clamped down on her ankle. She screamed and kicked frantically, pulling herself free. She scrambled to her feet and ran, not daring to look back. The whispers seemed to follow her, mocking her, taunting her. Sarah burst out of the woods, her clothes torn and her face scratched. She didn't stop running until she reached the safety of her home. She locked the door behind her and collapsed on the floor, gasping for breath. The next day, she told the locals what had happened. They looked at her with pity and fear. "The Whispering Woods," they said, "are cursed. Those who enter rarely return, and if they do, they're never the same." Sarah never took the shortcut again. The whispers still haunted her dreams, and every night, she would wake up, heart pounding, convinced that the shadows were watching her, waiting for her to return to the Whispering Woods.